immediately, we're going straight in with this Roy Ditto. Starting off strong, my man, Fear. Why don't you take it away in small battle?
Alright, we're gonna go to actually not Pokemon Stadium 2. This is the placebo that I was talking about earlier, yesterday with Roy. Back and forth once again. Bonilla just getting a lot of percentage after he had a great opening against Goblin. And you know what? You were actually commenting on the fact that we don't have we don't have Dittos, explosive Dittos such as these, such as Roy did so often. This feels like if we were the hangover and we were already being served the first cup of the day. I feel like I just woke up and we're back at it with such explosive coming up from these two players.
I know, right? It's exactly that type of feeling where one's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I like this. This is refreshing. This is something that's pretty nice. Especially when these Roy Dittos of two very, very aggressive players in the form of Bonilla and in the form of Goblin. And it's Goblin exactly the person that loses the first stock. And we're going to be seeing exactly Bonilla up in stocks right now. Not exactly in a very nice percent because it's a very, not favorable percent, especially when you're Roy, when you get things once off of the stage. And that's it. Exactly it. But can't complain about weaknesses when your characters are exactly the same, my man.
Yeah. There's no chance here. If you mess up, you mess up. There was nothing about the matchup. It's straight up even. It's nothing about how you interact with them, but who gets the first advantage and who just doesn't let it loose. So currently Bonilla is already a little bit of an advantage, checking out the percentage, but not exactly on the stage control. As you can already tell, he's just trying to get aggressively any kind of entrance against Goblin, but Goblin's perception of the way that he's just losing the scenario, he just tries to reposition himself over and over in the middle, and Bonilla just letting him slide through his DMs actually.
Naturally, I understand the necessity that Goblin has in order to be doing that, but it's not something that can be favorable in the end because, yes, you can constantly reposition yourself, but why are you repositioning yourself? Because you're getting beat every single time within your positioning, and that's not something that you want to let go. Here we go with the back air, not quite enough to end it, but Goblin, with the second back air, like, you think you're safe? Nah, you're going to try to eat this fully charged neutral beat. Okay, no, you don't. All right, then you're going to face slam yourself against the scenario because this is a 2 versus 1 stock situation, but Bonilla naturally doesn't want to let this slide as he has been letting it. But the
delay.
Last hit, yeah, the last hit of that double-edged dance, actually hitting him and wow, avoiding the grab at the same time. Now placing Goblin in a very bad position, regardless of the situation. But 70% is nothing to scoff off at.
Exactly. I'm totally 100% agreeing with you on that one. The thing is that Bonilla has all the moves in the world to kill Goblin. He has all the moves in the world that could close up that stock, but he just doesn't let it go. Goblin just doesn't let that stock go, and when he finally does, Bonilla is already all the way to 85%, 94%, 108%. It's already the stock done, unless Bonilla has something to offer. This is pretty much it from game number 1. It's gotta be Goblin all the way from Florida, the one that takes Bonilla to game number 2 in his favor.
No chance, bucko, is exactly what Goblin said as he landed that jab, tried to go for the forward air, not gonna kill, and then did it again. He's like, you know what? If it worked once, let's do it again. We're gonna see exactly that. That was that jab into the forward air that we saw, and then the jab into the reverse aerial rush back air. So crispy to be seeing those type of things that people would say it's bread and butter. I understand, but y'all forget that when you place bread and butter, you get the crispiest toast that you can see every single time, just like Bonilla after losing this match. So we're going directly into game number 2 here, and we're gonna be seeing, Hollow Bastion. I think you like this, don't you?
I'm gonna be hearing that all day long, and I actually don't mind at all. Yes, I am a Hollow Bastion believer. I am a very much Hazard's believer. I really like what we have on the background, what we have as songs. I hope that you're having a good time as well, because we're already seeing and facing Bonilla once again having advantage face on against Goblin from the very beginning. But how long can he take that on? That's the one question that Bonilla cannot answer. Every single time that starts on his side, he just loses it. One single interaction, and all the work that he's done is just up to no good for.
Goblin is just sometimes on another level whenever it's in regards to conversion. Naturally, Bonilla is trying to keep up, but like we saw that's not the first conversion that he has within this game. And that's something that I see Bonilla is actually struggling to keep up with those stray interactions. Naturally, the timing on his attempts at attacks aren't necessarily the best thing in the world, but here we're going to see, that's exactly what I wanted to mention. Like, you failed that easy punish. What's going on? And then you lose your jump that way, placing Goblin up within this manner. And then here we go with the stage morph, quote unquote, because naturally we're going to be seeing, this precious artwork.
That's going to be Ventus. Yeah, that's my boy Ventus all the way. All right, we have game number 2, and as you can already tell, Bonilla is on the losing verge of this game. Most likely he'll have to bring up something different against Goblin if he wants to actually have an edge on this set. I gotta remind you all, this is a best of 5, and I mean, this also doesn't matter if you lose it. It's not like you're gonna go all the way to losers after you lose this particular set, but of course it matters on the seeding, so it's on your best interest to try to counter Big Goblin if what's you're currently taking not working. So as you can already tell, Goblin is still on advantage, but he's quickly losing some grip of that percent of that stock, and finally Bonilla makes a quick call back into the match, trying to take Goblin all the way to his last stock, and that's not gonna last, Dio.
You want to take them to the last stock, yes, of course you want to take them to the last stock, but you also want to take them to the last hit, because everybody knows that a lot of people tend to break whenever it comes to last hit. And we're seeing it exactly right now. Bonilla doesn't place enough pressure on Goblin to take us towards that scenario, and Goblin is actually doing that quite well. So we have to see some sort of adaptation coming from Bonilla, which I find very strange. Naturally, you're the one who's gonna one-up me on this one, because Bonilla is not from my region, but the fact that he's using Roy and not Rob or Zora, I think is very strange. Naturally, it's not any person, the one that you're facing off against, right? It's Roy's Goblin. But I mean, come on, if you have other characters that you know very well, I think it's about time when you're 2-0 to take them out, right? I mean, what else do you have to lose?
I think it's most likely something such of a challenge. I mean, if you have one of the best Roys, if not the best Roy in the whole game in front of you, then you're gonna try something like challenging. You're gonna try to contest him on his very own game, and sadly that's not working. So this is where Rob comes into the question. Bonilla, of course, having such a plethora of characters that he can take from, such as Rob, such as Sora, such as fucking Trainer, Wolf, and Roy, he is just trying to buy something with Rob, try to put something on the table that's gonna be different, or at least a little bit more advantage, but something that I gotta make you all understand. Goblin is no stranger to this matchup. He played a lot of Robs back and forth, and they are one of the best, so I'm actually unsure of how this is gonna work out.
Well, I see that first and foremost, we're seeing Bonilla with a different advantage, right? Oh no, be careful! One read! I was just about to, yeah, sorry about that. It seems like the turntables have turned, or something like that. And no, that's it. Jesus Christ. It was just one interaction. One read was everything that Goblin needed in order to be able to seal the deal against this Rob. This piece of machinery that naturally doesn't know what hope is. As long as Roy is alive, he won't back down, and we're seeing that again. Goblin is within Bonilla's mind. He's up 2-0, and he knows it, and that's why he's currently using every single force of his asset in order to be able to take him down.
That's exactly what I was talking about. It's not about how comfortable you feel with the character, but also you gotta take in mind how comfortable your opponent is with that character. And of course, no stranger to this, he's just the best, and he's gotta make you laugh and worse. Because right now, as you can already tell, Goblin is just dominant in this match, just dominant in this set, and most likely this is gonna be ending up in a 3-0 in a handshake. I feel like Bonilla is a little bit lost in thought. That's not exactly something that I want to say about my boy, but of course he's got a lot of road that he has to par if he wants to be able to take on Goblin.
It's not only that, it's not a road. He has to put the concrete, he has to put the gravel, he has to put literally everything, because the opponent that he's up against is literally a test of skill. Yeah. And not only that, we're seeing that Goblin is consistently punishing every single one of his options, understanding when he's overextending and capitalizing off of that. And that's something that Roy can do ever so very well. So the combination of this aggressive playstyle plus the understanding of when and how you can punish punish the options that Bonilla is throwing out. We're seeing a symphony on the battlefield, and naturally, the reaper of every single one of the notes is Goblin with this. Roy uses as his instrument of preference.
Of course, as you can already tell, this bread and butter knife is gonna be quite dangerous if you let yourself against it. So, I think that's pretty much it. I tried to come up with something a little smart, you know, I wanted to keep this on and on and on and on, but sadly, the momentum was just not on Liga's favor. There was no more story that I could tell, as much as our work is to make a storytelling compelling for all the audiences. Sadly, this is gonna be a 3-0 for Bonilla, and of course, this is gonna be a granted and very much celebrated 3-0 for Goblin, who is currently and recently sponsored by Moist Esports.
That's right, and I find it amazing that a lot of people are currently turning to the Smash scene to see all the potential that most of these players have. I'm not gonna lie.